Hey everybody, today I want to show you Claude Skills and how you can use Claude Skills for marketing and growth and go-to-market teams, and how you can use Claude Skills specifically to help you with judgment and decision making. Not to automate all that for you, but to be an aid and assistant to help you make better decisions and make decisions in a timely manner. Recently, over the past 2 or 3 weeks, I've really been taking a deep dive into how AI can be used for assisting with good judgment and good decision making. I think that last year we saw a lot of focus on using Gen AI to create content. Of course, that's going to continue, but I think this year in 2026, we're going to see a lot of more focus on leveraging AI as an assistant for judgment, decision making, um, and helping with the day-to-day work of teams. And so I wanted to show you an example of how I think that could work for marketing growth and GTM. Um, I think Claude Skills are a really great tool, and it's a great way to abstract and encode thinking about decisions and good judgment, and making that available across your team, across your company, and making that consistent. And so, what is a Claude skill? It's really just a markdown file. So, here you can see I've got one that I've created. What's really interesting is what you put into it. And this file defines when the skill should activate, what inputs matter, how to reason about it, and then how to structure the output. Um, and if we look up top, you can see I'm naming this skill. It's an A/B test analyzer. I've got a description. I'm describing how and when it should be used, and basically telling Claude, this is for A/B test and for decision making. And it basically means that I don't have to remember all this when I create a prompt, and I don't have to worry about focus on my team remembering all this. It's just going to be available, and it means that we can refine this, but we can use this in a consistent way across the team. I don't have to have a perfect prompt every single time. And if we look at the inputs, what's nice about this is I'm not expecting that we have a perfect schema to input every time. It's really just working with whatever the growth team or marketing team, GTM team, whatever they have available, what they actually have, and not what we'd like them to have. And then the output format, this is really the most important part. This is ensuring that every time this skill runs, it produces a clear decision, a confidence level, a set of hypotheses, not just claims, and then recommends next tests. And so this is really, again, encoding how these types of decisions should be made ideally. It does include some guardrails just to make sure that it's keeping Claude honest here. And so the skill explicitly states assumptions, also missing data, and that's all critical for avoiding false confidence. And so when you think about marketing and growth, there are lots and lots of use cases you can dream up for how to use Claude Skills. Um, Things like improving and optimizing ad spend. You could provide all the latest ad spend results, and then get recommendations on reallocating budget based on those. You could have one that's looking at a landing page and analyzing the landing page and making recommendations and prioritizations on what to change, what to fix first, second, third. You could have things like UTM params and tracking, leverage Claude Skills to create those in a consistent way, make sure they're always correct and consistent across the team. You could have one that takes a given piece of marketing content and then reimagines how to reuse that same piece of content in different channels, different formats. Each of those use cases can be encoded as a skill. And so for this one, let's actually use it, and we'll just walk through an example. Here I've got an example of an A/B test, and you can see this is much shorter than the skill and all the things I would have had to include in the prompt. All I need to do is give Claude the context of the experiment, the variants I tested, the test results, and then the notes. These are just kind of the basics that every team's going to have available after running an A/B test. So again, if I copy and paste this into Claude Code, this will just take a minute or two to run, and we'll look at the results. Okay, it's finished up here. We can take a look at what it came back with. And so just looking at the output here, the first thing you'll notice is that it makes a call and it's going to state its confidence. So summary decision, the call is to ship. It's giving a rationale for that. It's giving confidence in that decision. It's also got some hypotheses here about what likely caused the change. It's not stating these as facts, but are truths, but they're explanations. They could be discussed and debated. They could be tested. And then it's going to push you forward with concrete recommendations for the next set of tests to run. And this is exactly what I mean by AI-assisted decision making. It's faster synthesis of the information. It's creating clear assumptions, and it has a bias towards action. And it's very much aligned with fast cycle decision models where we act, we learn, we update, we act again. Some of the limits to Claude Skills, the skill doesn't know your history. It doesn't know your downstream economics. It doesn't know your constraints. It doesn't know the history of all the tests that you run in the past. And so there's a boundary here between a skill and an actual system. The skills here are really helpful. They let you encode good judgment, but the systems, and this is what I think that we'll be evolving to, will add memory, constraints, feedback loops. And so that's kind of the path that I think a lot of companies will be on, from AI assistance in judgment and decision making to actually having operational decisioning embedded in systems and the day-to-day. So just to wrap up, Claude Skills are wonderful because they turn good prompts into something that's repeatable. In this case, you can have repeatable decision logic, and this is really how you would have AI decisioning in AI-assisted decisioning in practice across marketing, growth teams, GTM teams, and do that very easily, and do that now, especially if you're using Claude. So thanks again for listening. Hope you found this helpful. And if you're using Claude Code and using Claude Skills and have other examples to share, please do share them. Thank you and have a great weekend.